Hello, welcome to Practicing Metric Conversions with our dear friend, this very nice looking man right here. This very nice looking man right here is named King Henry. King Henry has a very interesting, yet devastatingly sad and terrible story about his life. King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. R.I.P. King Henry. It's very sad, but he was a very great man and a very great ruler, and it's really important to remember his story, his life story, and it really means a lot to us because it actually helps us remember very important things about his kingdom, the metric kingdom. Each one of these letters, K, H, D, U, D, C, and that's a little M down there, each of those stand for a prefix in the metric system. Here's what I mean by that. The K stands for kilo. That is a prefix. So I'm going to put this little dash. Sorry, that was terrible. That's an O. Kilo. That's the prefix. So I could say kilometer, kilo liter, or kilogram. You don't need to know this guy. It stands for hecto. This one stands for deca. You don't need to know those in 5th grade. This U stands for unit. What I mean by that is the base units. Our base units are always going to be M, L, and G. This M stands for meter, liter, gram. Our D for deci, our C for T, C, E, N, T, I. Oh man, Miss McMahon cannot write this thing. And then this little M down here stands for the prefix milli. So King Henry, as sad as his story is, helps us remember the prefixes kilo, centi, and milli for the metric system. Now I'm going to teach you how to actually convert. The first thing you should do is set up your King Henry like so. King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. Under the U, which stands for unit, I put my 3 base units, meters, liters, and grams. This is how you always set up every single problem. So let's take a look at my first problem. I have 56 centimeters equals blank millimeters. First thing I do is set up my King Henry, which I have right here. I start my pencil on where I know. I know how many centimeters I have, so that's where I'm starting my pencil. I want to know how many millimeters. Milli is right here, so that's where I'm going. I went one swoop this direction. This is the work I should see on your paper. I should see your swoop. I should also see your arrow of what way you moved every single time. Every time. So what we do is I started with 56. We know that every number has this invisible decimal point at the end. Mathematicians are pretty lazy people, so they don't really want to write it all the time because that would just be weird if we wrote decimal points after every single number, but we know that it's there and invisible. The whole purpose of my swoops from the previous slide is to move my decimal point. I am picking that green dot up and I am moving it to a new location. I'm doing one swoop this direction because that's what I did on my King Henry. I plant a 0 in the hole, and then my new decimal point is right here at the end. So I end up with 5, 6, 0, and then the decimal point at the end. I picked this one up and I moved it to its new location. All right, now it's your turn. Pause the video and see if you can solve this problem on your own, on paper that's in front of you right now. Pause the video and try to solve this. All right, if you are replaying the video, that means you have at least some work on your paper in front of you. It's okay if you didn't do all of it, but you should have at least some attempt. So we have our King Henry. We know that our unit is grams. That's what we've chosen. I start my pencil with what I know. I know how many grams I have, so that's where my pencil starts. I want to know how many milligrams, so that's where I'm going. So I'm starting here and I'm going this way to milli. 1, 2, 3 swoops. I have my number, my swoops, and my arrow. Do you have all of those things on your work? I hope you at least have that arrow. So here's the number I started with. 4, 5, 0, 0, 0. Whew, that is not good looking. And then my invisible decimal point at the end. I am moving my decimal point to a new location. 3 swoops that direction. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to plant a 0 in each hole. And my new decimal point is at the end. Ooh, this is going to be a big number, y'all. Let's see if I can write this without being too sloppy. How many zeros do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my gosh. 6 zeros. That's your answer. 4, 5, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Decimal point at the end. Pat yourself on the back if you got that correct. If you got it incorrect, I want you to think about, where's your arrow? Did you show your work? All right. We are going to try this problem, and this problem. So on your paper, pause the video and see if you can solve the 3 pink circled problems. All right, if you're replaying the video, that means that you have solved the 3 problems I circled on this screen. You have to have at least some work on your paper. All right, I'm going to write out my King Henry. I'm going to use the text box tool just to make my life a little easier because my handwriting is not the prettiest. King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. All right. There we go. So, first one, I start with 35 millimeters. That's what I know. I know how many millimeters I have, and milli is right here. I want to know how many centimeters. I moved 1 swoop this direction. I started with the number 35. My invisible decimal point was here at the end. 1 swoop. There's its new home. So it is 3.5 centimeters. All right, next problem. I'm down here. I start with what I know. I know how many kilograms I have, so that's where my pencil starts. I want to know how many grams. Grams is one of my units. All right, 1, 2, 3. And I started over here and I moved this way. There's my number. It was 0.00056. I'm going to move my decimal point to a new home. 1, 2, 3. There it goes. So it looks like my answer should be 0.56. All right, last problem. I start with what I know. I know how many millimeters I have. Milli is right here. I want to know kilometers. Oh my gosh, so far away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 swoops that direction. I started over here and I moved over here. Started with the number 16. I'm moving my decimal point. Right now it's invisible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I plant a 0 in each hole. There's my answer, 0.000016. If you feel like you need extra practice, please let your teacher know, and they will be more than happy to get you some extra practice. Good job, guys. You are done.